What's up, dudes? Max here, kind of with a natural follow-up to something on the opposite end of the spectrum as we're discussing the Street Fighter V exclusivity from the previous video. If you didn't get a chance to check out the previous video, we have some conclusive evidence about why the game is going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 4 and PC. But another big thing that kind of is sort of related to the games that I'm following and I'm conveniently working on right now is Killer Instinct. And a big issue that immediately popped up is that a lot of the people that are in the hardcore fighting game community, they don't have any reason to buy an Xbox One anymore because that was their main goal for getting the system for like Killer Instinct. And I do kind of relate with some of these guys on that level because I do look forward to the specific games when it comes to these consoles, and if it doesn't have a game that makes me really happy, then it's kind of an issue. Albeit the bigger thing is that Street Fighter V being exclusive on PS4 kind of like kill off Killer Instinct and its chances of becoming, you know, even popular with the next versions of the game coming out. And I actually don't think that's the case, along with a few other people that have recently spoken out as of late regarding the exclusivity. So the interesting thing is that PlayStation now has a couple of exclusive fighters. They got Guilty Gear Xrd, as well as they have Street Fighter V, but Killer Instinct is always going to be on a Microsoft platform, especially the Xbox One right now, and they're still working on Season 2, and there could potentially even be a Season 3 if things go pretty good for Season 2. Now, what's interesting about this is that you'd think, well, no one's going to be buying an Xbox One for fighting games anymore. That's pretty much it. And you would think that, well, that kind of means the end of KI and fighting gamers even caring about the Xbox One. But it turns out not to be true because the current director of current gaming at Microsoft, Phil Spencer, recently talked about the exclusivity of PlayStation 4 and Street Fighter V, and he kind of said that I'm not too worried about it because we already have our own first-party fighting game. Kind of mentioning how Sony had to branch out and get a third party to make their own fighting game, which they don't own the complete rights for. Microsoft owns everything about KI and all the characters and everything, so it's a much different situation about KI being on the Xbox and Street Fighter V being on PlayStation 4. Either way, Phil Spencer very much seemed that he would prefer to put the resources, time, and money kind of into Killer Instinct and support the game that is already on their first-party platform. So that does make sense to me. I think kind of what happened with Street Fighter V is that even though Killer Instinct might not be as successful, like units per sale-wise, as a game like Street Fighter, of course it's Street Fighter, it's like the biggest fighting game franchise in the world, what it did do is maybe motivate some of the folks at Microsoft to give maybe bigger budgets or more support, or heck, even tournament support down the line for something like KI, in order to ensure that their first-party fighting game has a successful future. Right now it's going pretty good, and Season 2 is only about halfway done, and we're getting some of the characters that we've been waiting for. So with all that taken into consideration, that was kind of the backstory behind what's happening now, and what kind of became headline news over the past couple of days is that there's now a rumor / not really confirmation, but there's an idea that Killer Instinct could potentially be coming to PC. More notably, the lead producer and the overall creative director behind KI, Adam Icegreen, was on the Killer Instinct forums, and he specifically made a thread talking about the interest of Killer Instinct to go over to the PC platform. And of course, everyone kind of blew up, websites went crazy, everyone saying that Microsoft is looking for the support of Killer Instinct to go to the PC platform. And this, at this point, at this time, in comparison to Street Fighter V, is way too convenient. All things considered, Street Fighter V is going to be a cross-play game for PlayStation 4 and PC, and right now the Xbox One does not have a lot of cross-play games, much less Xbox Live. You don't find many titles that actually work on the PC version that you can also play people online, as well as on an Xbox console. And I believe this goes back to an Unreal Tournament game back on the Xbox 360 where they specifically just didn't do it because the people on PC kind of trounced the heck out of the console players because they were just so much better on mouse and keyboard. Well, this really doesn't apply to fighting games because you're all on arcade sticks and stuff like that and control pads, so it's really not that big of an issue. I do think that having something like Killer Instinct be on PC is perhaps the greatest thing that could possibly be for that game. All things considered, I don't know if KI is specifically going to be selling Xboxes anymore at this point. It's probably just going to be making the people that have the game much happier. And if they do, people tend to get a system, they might glance over and buy Killer Instinct or something. But with the title being out this long, honestly, bringing it to PC is the best idea you could possibly do, because at that point you actually have something that's more aching to compete with Street Fighter. You have this Killer Instinct platform of a game that's like free to play in a way where you can play characters for free, you can buy whichever characters you want, you don't have to heavily invest in it, and if you can also do that on the PC, then you don't have to worry about the giant investment that is the console, the arcade stick, and all that stuff, and it just becomes an overall much more pleasant experience. I would much prefer this to happen for KI than for it to remain a console exclusive. I kind of just want more people to be able to play these games and have access to play these games, and like I said, exclusives are a tough thing, and even though these games belong to these companies, I do see situations where, oh my gosh, could Killer Instinct be on PC? Is the next big Street Fighter game going to be on PC and console as well? That's freaking awesome to me, because it just gives people more of a chance to actually enjoy these games and potentially enjoy them in a way that they've never been done before, which is having people on the PC play online with people on the console, and hopefully that all works out amazing. But in general, guys, the folks at Microsoft, and it seems that they're gauging interest for something like this right now. And there's going to be a very big Windows gaming event coming up at the beginning of 2015, talking about kind of the future of Windows gaming platform, and who knows, there could be some big announcement regarding Killer Instinct going over to the Windows platform early next year. But either way, show your support, guys. Honestly, if you've wanted to play Killer Instinct, if you think you'd get a PC version, if you already have the Xbox One version, the folks over on the forums right now are taking suggestions, and there's a lot of different options for you to choose. Really, dudes, right now, if you like KI, this is probably one of the best things you can do to help out the community, as well as people that just want to play these games. Head over to the forums, the link is in the description below, and let me know what you dudes think about a potential PC port of Killer Instinct. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. My name is Maximilian, and I'll see you next time.